Hello friends, welcome back to Iron Destiny Props, and today we have a very special new prop to showcase. This is Obi-Wan Kenobi's lightsaber from Star Wars, the first film in 1977, and all the hilt components were sourced from RomanProps.com. I highly recommend both this and his MPP Vader kit. He designed all the parts to replicate the vintage ones exceedingly well, and I think you'll be very happy with his products. So let's examine this prop more closely. Starting at the emitter, we have the balance pipe that replicates the real part taken from a Rolls-Royce Derwent jet engine. This helped in the process of combustion in the British Gloucester Meteor jet, and I added these carbon and fuel-like deposits to simulate what's often found on the vintage part. In the Chronicles reference photo, it seems like this face on the pipe has this grime like you see here. This can also be observed during the scene where Obi-Wan is casing the Death Star hallways and pulls the hilt from his belt, and you see this prominent mark here. This leads me to believe the Death Star hero and the Chronicles reference hilt may be one and the same prop. One departure I did make from the hilt is this aluminum insert. In the scene where Vader dispatches Obi-Wan at the end of their lightsaber duel, you can see when the prop falls to the ground in the Jedi robes what seems to be this aluminum insert in the emitter. I'd like to take this moment to make a shout out to Scott Juarez of Crucible Custom Props. He machined out the cone that comes standard from Roman and created this improved insert. If you're not familiar with him, he builds a wide variety of replica movie props with a high attention to detail, so check out his work on his social media. Rounding out the weathering on the balance pipe, I added these pitting marks, deposits, and chips to the edges to replicate the real prop. Next we have the British World War I rifle grenade and wind vane. This part replicates the 1916 grenade where this brass mast would be inserted in the barrel of a rifle, and the firing would launch it at the intended target with the help of this vane spinner. For the weathering, I sanded down the engraved lettering to a very subtle relief and chemically aged and dented it, and I did a similar application for the grenade with bluing. Following this, we have the Graflex clamp with the jewel-like bubble strip replicating the one from the TI Exactor calculator. From the reference photos, it's hard to see how exactly it was installed in the clamp rails, so I decided to adopt a similar install like I offer with my Luke Graflex assemblies, with the shaved-down shoulder edges you see here. The clamp weathering was a very tedious but gratifying result. I created templates from the photos of the weathered chrome tape to apply here, and then used various paint techniques to produce a similar overall aesthetic to the one on the real prop. We have the Marconi Elliott transistors oriented correctly, and I also added what I assume to be a rust deposit to this clamp locking window and the lever rivet, and I installed these broken off cotter pins and small brass screws in their proper locations. Here we have the booster heatsink of a Browning fighter plane machine gun. These fins helped to cool the barrel as it was firing, and before bluing I added these dings and marks similar to vintage boosters. Finally, we have the Armitage Shanks sink knob with light surface scratches and grime, and this one prominent scratch between the cubes. We don't currently know which variant, whether hot or cold, was used on the real prop, so that detail is left open to interpretation. And there you have it, a finely detailed replica of the Kenobi hero lightsaber from the very first Star Wars film. Thank you to Jesse of Kyberphonics Sound Fonts for this fantastic commission, Roman Props for the hilt kit, and Scott of Crucible Custom Props for the collaboration. Let me know in the comments what you think of Obi-Wan's lightsaber. Feel free to subscribe for more content and follow me on my social media. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.